Making your job as a coach harder. So it's really important for us to understand, where does my angle of my back need to be and when does it change? So before we even go off the blocks, I think we should go over it first to understand where my back angle needs to be. So if I'm getting set off the floor, I'm here, weight's in the middle of my foot, my hips are down, my chest is up. I'm breaking that bar in half. This is where lats come into play. From here, I'm pushing. So right there, my butt came up. So I'm pushing, I'm above my knee. See how my back angle stays exactly the same? A lot of times with the girls, you'll start to see this. And they start to pull back. Their knees don't get out of the way. They're hitting their knees. Their chest is coming up too far. They hit extension too soon. So when I'm here, and we say blocks above the knee, I literally want those blocks above the knee. Because if an athlete can't figure out, this is when they transition. If they start to transition down here, they're not in a good position. So when we use blocks, think of blocks as a constraint. And that with blocks, I'm limiting the amount of time that the athlete can get into a wrong position. So in this would be, for someone like me that's tall, this is a good position above the knee. So a lot of times we all get in the habits of big blocks, little blocks is a set. But that would be at the knee for me. And for an athlete that already is new to this, she's gonna start to pull back right away, right? This is a good position for me to learn how to change my back angle, because that's when that happens. Does that make sense? So, for instance, I was working with Scarlett the other day. She had snatches. And snatches are super hard for her. And she had her blocks, the big guy and the little one. And the bar was right at her knee. When she was here, she was having a really hard time keeping that bar close. So I thought, I'm not doing this. I'm making this a lot easier for myself. So I had her use 2 big blocks. And then from there, I was actually able to teach her how to use her lats and how to keep that bar close. And I used a higher constraint, so there's less time to get into a wrong position. For her, once we master that, I'm now gonna make the blocks a little bit lower, okay? So now let's learn what we do if the blocks are at the knee. So let's take these big blocks down. Parts of the lifts, because normally when you're here, and especially if you're super long limbed like me, I wanna pull back right away. So when I'm lifting off the blocks here, what I wanna see is a push up and then a pull back. Does that make sense? If I start to pull back too soon, look how far the bar is from me. Does that make sense? So when I'm at the knee, what you wanna see, exactly what you're doing, anytime you have an athlete lift off the blocks, first thing, go look at them from the side. Make sure they're in the right position. Then worry about hitting extension, all that fun stuff. So you're here, you wanna see the bar. Break the blocks straight up. Once I get to like right above my knee, then that's when you're gonna see me transition, okay? So above the knee, I'm working on that transition right away, which is exactly what the hang is. At the knee, I'm learning how to stay over the bar and then squeeze it in. And then below the knee, I'll explain why we sometimes do a below the knee plus the pause. Below the knee, I'm working on teaching the athlete how to get her knees out of the way, stay patient and over the bar to that hang position, and then get tall. So if I'm below the knee, I want to make sure the athlete's shoulders are set over the bar, my hips are down, my chest is up. Too high hips, your knees will always hit extension before your the bar to come forward. So your hips to be lower. I'm here. I'm learning how to break the bar, get my knees out of the way while I stay in the middle of my foot. I'm long-legged. I'm really going to flare out. I'm flaring out. Now I'm above my knee. Now I make that transition. So a lot of times, if an athlete's off the low blocks and they're just like the bar's so far from them, use this as an opportunity to push and then pause above the knee. So now, what's my main focus right here if I'm pausing above the knee? Clearing the knees, exactly. So a lot of times you might have an athlete that's like pause above the knee. She's like, okay. It's like, no. So that's the whole purpose of the low blocks. Clear the knee, get into this position, still in the middle of my foot. Now I transition, okay? and then you go to the floor. But that's where the blocks can come extremely in handy when you're trying to really drill specific positions. Higher blocks, just like the hang. As you get lower, you're working on learning how to get your knees out of the way and then find that top position again. This is Relentless Athletics, bringing the female athlete her best performance through science. If you like this video, be sure to like and share it. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more science on female athlete development, check out our website at relentlessathleticsllc.com.